is 2B, and this is my church kid story. I'ma call this one The Fight in the Vestibule. So, I was at church. We were having rehearsal. And, rehearsal's going on. Everything's going on without a hitch. It's no problems. Like, everybody's singing their note. The band is live. It's good rehearsal. I happened to look back and I saw some commotion, but I didn't really know what was going on. So I'm like, cool, whatever. I'm playing the drums, whatever. I'm doing my thing. I ain't thinking nothing about it. So the next thing you know, it was literally only me and my cousin that were there that particular night in terms of men. And because one of my other cousins was younger at the time. So it was only me and my cousin that was there in terms of men. So somebody who was back there for the situation opens up the door and yells out, "Two!" And the other person, "I need you now!" So first we can't hear because we grooving. But then we see the desperation. So we stopped and it was like, "I need you now!" So we take off running. Boom, boom, we ran to the back. And so while we were running to the back, there was an argument that was going on. We didn't know the parameters around the argument. We didn't know the particulars around the argument. We just knew somebody came in the door and they were hot. And somebody else was hot too. So I'm thinking, well, it's two women. What's the worst that could happen? So I don't really go in. I kind of stay back. We kind of stay back. We watching the situation. And I don't know exactly what was said to trigger one of the ladies into hitting the other lady. But before I could blink, this lady had taken off. I mean, she took off on the other lady. And the thing about it was, she hit her so hard that, and to this day, I've never felt anything like this. I felt the wind of the punch before the punch landed. Like, I literally felt the wind of a punch. I mean, I don't know if she was back here. I don't know. All I know is that I was like 2 inches from being knocked out myself, because that wind of the punch, I could literally just going back. She hit the other lady. I thought for sure that it was a knockout. I'm talking about, I thought for sure it was, and I'm talking about them knockouts that you see at UFC where they toes be like this and they just be like, that's what I thought it was. But somehow this lady still stood up and they commenced, well, they didn't really commence the fighting. The one lady commenced the fighting, and she, the win lady, the win guy, she commenced to fighting. And so we're trying to break that joint up. I mean, we're giving it everything we got. And meanwhile, the person that said they needed help was just like, "Stop! Don't do this! What are you doing?" But it was too late, because by that point, the win guy had already won. Like, it was already over. But she was trying to rationalize. The person that called us was trying to rationalize the whole thing with us. She was just rationalize with the person, like, "This is not the time or the place." I was like, yeah, you got a point, but we got to get this lady off first because she's going to die. We definitely got to get her. It's a problem. And so, mind you, this is 2 grown men that were trying to pry this lady off of the other lady. And we had to really use what I call man strength. Like, we had to use that, like, I'm older than you strength. Like, I'm your father and you're my son type strength to get this person off of that person. It was like that. And in the aftermath, when we finally got everything cleared up, all I could think about, sometimes I would go to sleep and I could feel that punch. I could feel the wind from that punch in my nightmares. It would be hot. I'm talking about real talk. It would be hot outside. And all I had to do to calm myself down was think about the wind god punching. Like how much wind came from that punch and it would cool me off. It was that hard. I've never seen anything like that from that point to this point. So I'm 2B. This right here has been my church kid story, the fight in the vestibule.